Allow y'all eyes up and every knee gon' bow y'all. The spirit moved upon the waters, it got life in it. Let there be a firmament and you put lights in it. Sitting above the waters is your footstool. Every tree yielding fruit, that's that good food. You put lights up in the heavens for season and days. And our years too, we trying to get back to them ways. You put life up in the waters, all the moving creatures. Every heartbeat is yours, y'all, we truly need you. Abba, forgive us, cause sometimes we take this life for granted. Everything belong to you and we can make advantage. You're the Alpha and Omega, got every advantage. If you mark iniquities, then ain't nobody standing. Earthquakes, tornadoes, floods, they keep it commandments. The sun and moon is in his order, just by our sanity. You put the sand for a bound that the sea will stop. Can't hide nothing from the Abba, y'all, he see the heart. Made man in his likeness, we corrupt the image. Second son and second Adam, obey him.
Every election. So now, because they can't beat me, they got to do this smear campaign to convince public opinion that I'm bad for them.
So you said 2 elections. You were first elected in 2021?
No, 2013 was my first election for trustee. I was a trustee. I sat where they are.
Right.
That's why I know the law.
Dolton Council.
Yes.
Elected mayor 2021.
Yes.
Terms 4 years?
Yes.
Okay. Plans of running for re-election?
I'm running for both my seats. And I'm going to win them.
So, and when is the election for Thornton Township?
2025.
So those elections at the same time?
They are.
Bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
I could not be here breathing and be comfortable if I was really as bad as they was making it. You know, nobody could be around me. So for me to be this calm, I must have some kind of inner peace. And my inner peace is knowing that once everybody take the time to really see what type of person I am, you'd be surprised that I stuck around this long.
I have to make the life that I do live as happy as I can and try to do the best with what I have. You know, live the best life I can live, be as happy as I can be. Nothing is perfect for anybody. I don't know.
Boys, I swear, I think I figured it out. You know why they don't want us redneck brothers and sisters and the hood brothers and sisters getting along? You know why? Because we'd be unstoppable. I'm telling you right now, we would shut shit down.
Yes, yes, yes. You know what we gonna do? What we gonna do? We gonna shut shit down. Blessings, blessings, Uncensored Enlightenment Talk family. Leave our family. We in the building. Look at my background. I don't like when it be messing up like that. How y'all doing? Let me turn myself to the side. Maybe we be doing better today. Yes, we're here on the Sabbath. You know, sometimes I jump on the Sabbath. We in the Sabbath today. We have some updates for you guys. The story that keep on giving. Why can't I stay on my own schedule with Dolton? You know why? Because Tiffany, let me see, this one right here, this one right behind my shoulder, she always keeping some shit up. So you already know what we do here. We go a little bit deep into things. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna talk about Tiffany Henyard not going to jail. Okay, and we're gonna get to know the judge a little bit. Okay, Mr. Thaddeus Wilson. Okay, you know, I did just a little research. Like, I wanted to find out some things. And also we're going to talk about the Andrew Holmes and him not being charged. And we're going to go into Vegas laws a little bit to see like what happened. You know, we could only we can do is speculate, but here, you know, we like to hit you with the facts, critical thinking. You guys, you know what we do. Get in the comments. You know, I'm gonna put your comments on the screen. We grown and sexy over here. I ain't got to tell y'all what to do. Y'all know what we do over here. As long as we respect each other, say what you want, okay? And then we're going to finish off with something has changed since 2022. I found a few interesting videos that I want to share with the family about the perspective of America and how it changed. And I want to know, do you feel the same way as the person that I'm going to show in the video? So we're going to kind of do a reaction to that. I think it's very important for us to kind of, you know, talk about that. But let's get to the mess, okay? Wait a minute. I had one video that I want to shout out to Dolton Politics. And also before, let me not forget. because I want to say it right. Y'all know me. I want to say it right. There is another group that I be creeping on. They accept me as a friend. I think it's Tiffany Henyard Uncensored. Tiffany Henyard, dictator of Dolton, Illinois, and Thornton Township. So this little clip that I'm showing you is actually from that page. So I got to show them some love. Girl, check it out.
Hide the money, y'all. There's poor people around. With your broke ass.
Your broke ass. That's Tiffany on day one. Okay. And we're trying to figure out what is it that emboldens Tiffany. Okay. But before we get there, I am going to start the live with saying rest in love, Lexi. Okay. Today they're having an event for Lexi. So if you're in the area down there and you like comedy, go check it out. There's an event held by Miss Vivian Allen and Cara. Okay. So shout out to everyone who attend. If there's a few people who attending, I don't want to say their name until I actually know they attend. And if they go live, y'all know I'm a creep. Like, yeah, I give people love because that's what we're here to do. So we'll give you an update on the Alexis Wilson investigation or things that I'm working on in the next 2 weeks or so. But with that goes to say, let's get this party started, right? Thank you for being with Grace Levi today. Hit the like button. We're going to keep it uncensored here. So we're going to play WGN News, Dolton trustee, judge blocked Tiffany Henyard's appointment. This is a little 27-second clip. Let's put that up there for the people who may not know what happened. Shout out to Rumble, because I don't think Rumble really keeps up with this Tiffany Henyard thing, but I may be the only content creator that talks about this crazy man. So shout out to Rumble, because I do have a few people that actually watch it. So shout out to you guys, because I'm starting to stream back on Rumble again, making sure that I keep my platform diverse. Okay, so let's play this.
Breaking news in the ongoing battle for control of South Suburban Dolton. An attorney for trustees opposed to Mayor Tiffany Henyard say a judge has granted a temporary restraining order blocking several of her recent moves to consolidate power. She appointed a new village manager, village attorney, and police chief. Trustees argue Henyard doesn't have the power to make those staff changes without their consent. They believe the judge's decision will force Henyard to seek their approval for new hires.
All right, so that's just a little short clip. Now, one of the things that was said in my comments, I'm not going to pull it up, but people were inquiring just like me, was actually Keith Freeman hired legally? And we do know that he was not hired legally. But at this point, they're keeping him in position for some apparent reason. But just a little scoop on what happened to Keith. He went down there to try to go get in, and they still was trying to block him. Okay. And they block Keith Freeman, not thicker than the snicker Keith Price. I should have took the picture. Is this picture up of Keith Price? It is. Can I let me go get it? It is ridiculousness. I brought his name up and then I sat up there like, damn, why I ain't get the picture? But basically what was said is that Keith Freeman went down there to try to get in and he was blocked. So this is what's going to send us to our next video that we show you, where they had to take Henyard back to court again and say, this child don't listen. Okay. Let's get that on the screen real quick. Now I get that picture of thicker than a snicker. Y'all know I knew I should have took it because I knew I was gonna bring his damn name up. What the hell wrong with you, Grace? You should have just got the picture. It's disgusting too. I'm gonna just tell you, some of the things that they put up there is ridiculousness. So I'll get it though. Let's play this. Bear with me, guys. I'm getting back into the bearing. Today has been a long week. Some of the things that we talk about later on is probably why I'm a little like a jar. If y'all know, Atlanta had a chemical explosion, and then we suffered from a hurricane out here. So there's a little shit going on around here. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, I'm getting a little bit adjusted. Pray for Grace Levi. Shit is just happening all around us.
Tiffany Henyard in court today over illegal appointments she allegedly made for several positions inside the village, among them chief of police. Last month, the judge issued a temporary restraining order blocking her from making those appointments without approval from trustees. The mayor had been warned before that if any of her appointees reported to Village Hall, she would be held in contempt of court. The judge today declining to hold her in contempt, but did warn her that if she did not follow the ruling, he would.
All right. So allegedly. Now, this is what's appalling to me. Okay. This is why I had to do a little research on this damn judge, because it just didn't make no sense. I'm saying to myself, everybody's been watching what's been going on, right? Right. Okay. Why do she need another warning? This is consistent behavior. Well, let me get his picture on the screen. It's consistent behavior. So I'm gonna just say this: if I was the judge, I wouldn't have been quick to actually, give her a warning, because she don't need a warning. As we mentioned before, I don't even think that she complied with the federal subpoena at this point. We're still waiting for that. Y'all remember? She was supposed to hand the information and she asked for more time, and we heard nothingness. So we're trying to figure out a little bit more about this judge and why he possibly is so lenient on Miss Henyard. Okay. Now, I didn't find any direct connections to them yet, but I know a few people can. Let's put this on the screen before. Let's see. Let me see if there's anything significant about this little article. No. All right. So the Honorable Thaddeus Wilson, his actual court is open. So if y'all actually want to follow up on this, and hopefully I'll follow up. Y'all know I'll just get the scoop. I don't even want to be sitting in court with Tiffany Henyard. But if I can get a pre-update, that's what I'm going to do. If you guys want to pre-update this is his actual page. This is where you can see when he's going to be in court, okay? And you can stream in, or you can stop in on a Zoom. So we have some information here. We want to see what's the follow-up with this. If anything, if I get a heads up before, I'm going to try to pop in, listen in, get a few clips, okay? All right, so that's where you can get your information from. He is live online. Now, we do know that in a lot of courts, some courts, they make you get permission. So if you want to stream that, make sure that you get permission. That's something you could write to the judge's chambers about. I was thinking about it, but I was like, Tiffany Henyard is not that important to me. She's just, I'm not going to waste my time in court with her shenanigans, okay? So this is a little bit about the judge side. So this judge is actually, I found two things that was kind of significant, possibly three things that's significant. This judge right now is entangled in something that has to do with Trump. Did y'all know that? No, I was like, what the hell? What do he got to do with Trump? Let's put it on the screen. So basically, they're going after Trump out there in Chicago for his building for environmental hazards, okay? And this judge is involved in it. So it's just so funny. That's the judge that's assigned to Tiffany Henyard in this big old national controversy. So these are two national things if you're not paying attention. And this was 3 weeks ago, actually. So judge sides with Illinois Attorney General in lawsuit over Chicago Trump Tower water use. So Trump is doing some BS. Chicago court ruled this week that Trump Tower in Chicago violated the Illinois environmental protection law with its use of the water from Chicago River. In his ruling, Cook County Circuit Court Judge is Thaddeus Wilson sided with the 2018. This is in 2018 lawsuit from the Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul. Okay, and the Coalition on Environmental Group. Raoul office filed the suit based on the referral from the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency, which accused the building of neglecting to obtain necessary Clean Water Act permits for its cooling water intake system. We'll read a little bit more about this. Later that same year, Raoul Office Trump International, as well as Sarah Club and Friends of the Chicago River, agreed to join an interim order requiring that the building to abide by expired national pollution discharge elimination system permits. Basically, what this thing that Trump is using, he's pulling water out of the Chicago River, I would assume, and he's using it to cool his building. So structures of the tower size are required under the federal law to conduct studies of their water intake due to the amount of marine life affected by the process. So in the summary judgment, Wilson ruled that Trump organization lied on all counts. Raul office said in a statement that it intends to seek an injunction and civil penalties as a future hearing, which has not yet been scheduled. So this was about 2 weeks ago. Let's see, can we play this real quick? Did y'all know about this? Let's connect the dots.
And in violation of
Let's connect the DOTT. Okay, let's go.
Illinois law. A Cook County judge says this stems from their water intake for their HVAC system that has led to thousands of fish dying.
Elizabeth Matthews downtown with the judge's ruling. Elizabeth.
Our Chicago River is iconic. The health of the river has been improving greatly over the past 2 decades or so. But some environmental groups and now a Cook County judge say the Trump Tower has been hurting the river and wildlife for years.
We do know that thousands and thousands of fish and other aquatic organisms would have died from the system.
Margaret Frisbee is the executive director of Friends of the Chicago.
I've had the free version of Grammarly, but upgrading to Grammarly Premium has been a game changer in my everyday
River. They say the Trump Tower has for years violated the Clean Water Act and the Illinois Environmental Protection Act. Buildings along the Chicago River use the water to cool down heating and cooling systems. Trump Tower is capable of pulling in more than 20 million gallons of water per day. But Frisbee explains buildings have to be careful on their water intake.
If you don't have the proper technologies at the interface with the river where you're drawing the water in, you can actually trap and pull into the system fish and other aquatic life that end up in the system, or they actually get sucked and stuck on the screens. And so you kill the wildlife that gets drawn in.
The 2018 lawsuit states that the tower operated without a proper state environmental permit and continued to underreport heated water discharge levels. This week, a judge says Trump Tower has created and continues to create a public nuisance in violation of Illinois law. Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul wrote in a statement, quote, "All entities, no matter who they are, must be held accountable when they willfully disregard our laws."
Wait a minute. Now, I know the Trump Tower didn't just get built 2018. See, this is the type of stuff I just got a question. This didn't get built in 2018. It was okay before Trump was running for Republican president and doing all that stuff. I'm just kind of throwing some stuff out there because this is a little weird. Not that his building is supposed to be killing aquatic life and sucking in all his water, but this is something that they knew already. So politics or politics, I'm or both. I'm gonna just have to say that. Now, this same judge is connected to something a little bit egregious. Okay, just egregious. This judge actually pulled Adrian Love. If y'all watching the YSL trial, basically Adrian Love, the prosecutor there, forced one of the witnesses most of the damn witnesses to come on, and even basically incarcerating two. One of the people that we talked about, we're going to talk about in our next live today, is Little Woody. Okay, so this was someone who suffered consequences kind of similar to what we're going to talk about, that's connected to Thaddeus Wilson. Okay, now he got a lawsuit against him for this stuff. Witness in a murder case sues after Cook County judge ordered her jailed in fake subpoena. Right, this was May 2022. This is about a 6-minute read. Let me see something. Let me see if I got a little video first. Okay, let me get to it just a little bit. A woman who was present at her brother's slaying nearly 6 years ago has filed a federal lawsuit against Cook County State Attorney Office after she was thrown in jail for weeks for failing to answer a subpoena to participate in the trial prep against the accused murderer. Okay, the lawsuit filed by Latoya in United States, I don't put all that information, USA District Court on Wednesday centers on the common practice of the Cook County criminal justice system, where prosecutors get judges to issue court orders subpoenaing to witness to get them to come in for interviews in advice of in advance of a criminal trial. Okay, the suit alleges prosecutors have been systematically abusing the subpoena process by threatening a witness with contempt and jail time if they fail to comply. Even though the case was not on trial on the day that they were being ordered to give testimony, Ware, that's her last name, is not the only victim of the Cook County State Attorney illegal practice of issuing fake subpoenas for court dates that do not exist. Dun 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 dun. We're doing a little digging. Maybe this is why, because anybody is comfortable with doing this type of shit. They don't give a damn what Tiffany is doing, girl. In my opinion, let's keep it going, okay? And it's crazy because this is the same thing that's happening right here in Atlanta. Shout out to Cook County. We like sisters. We like sisters. We live in the same life with allegedly crooked ass. I'm not going to say it. Moving forward. So basically, the victim in the Cook County State. Okay, so Wire is not the only victim in the Cook County State Attorney illegal practice of issuing fake subpoenas for court dates that do not exist, the suit stated. Rather, the practice is widespread and routine and has been for many years. Wire, 20, she's 20 years old, who has a 2-year-old daughter, alleges prosecutor violated her constitutional right, bearing unlawful search and seizure. She wound up testifying this week when the case went to trial at the Leeton Criminal Court building. In all, she was held for about 3 weeks without bond in Cook County Jail, where she was separated from her family without due process and subjected to possible COVID infection, according to the suit. Ware's attorney, Mr. Levy law firm, wrote in the lawsuit that the state attorney office should be focused on bringing the illa of Mr. Wire's brother to justice and providing her with the support that victims of crimes and their family needs. So, what is going on here? Do you see what I'm saying? What is going on here now? In this particular situation, I can understand probably why she wouldn't want to testify, especially if her life is on the line. This was the same thing that was going on with Woody. Just to give you a heads up, these people are still in the same area where the crime took place. Okay, and 9 out of 10, these people are gang-related. I'm saying gang-related, and they have other actors in the street that will do things for. So instead of this judge, they put his ass on the screen because it's the same judge that did not hold Henyard in contempt. I'm just trying to figure out who is he and why he ain't doing his job. Oh, you know why? This judge is comfortable with holding people in fake contempt of court. He didn't even say, listen, I give you immunity. Listen, look, I know she ain't in a situation like Woody, but he didn't even give her nothing. You see what I'm saying? Why would you put her in jail instead of put her in a witness protection program, talking to them, trying to figure out what's going on, why you don't want to testify? You know your brother was unalive. You know the human thing to do. I'm just trying to figure out why people not human. That's what I'm trying to figure out. So I was like, why didn't that man lock this up? Okay, I'm about to put him on the screen, and I think that's why, because maybe he's allegedly a little bit corrupted or compromised, let's say that, for him to be involved. This is probably why she got a warning. So we're going to stay up to date to see what actually happens, and if she actually complies, and if she don't, what is Mr. Wilson going to do? Huh? Because you already see the political ties. You already see connected to the 2025 election. You're going after Trump. That's what people are going to say. Oh, this is political, this, that, and the third. It's so bad. That's why I'm not a Dem or a Republican, because they protect each other. And then it's this type of shit. It's this type of stuff. That's why I think also why he didn't go after Henyard, because he may have some Democratic support. You know what we talked about the other day in my live? Lobbying. people getting support for their campaign, running. Don't you gotta run for judge? You gotta run for judge. You gotta win it, right? I'm trying to remember. I think there's some places you gotta win. You gotta be appointed to it. Okay. So with that goes to say, you're gonna have to have some support. And in his case, is allegedly Democratic. So I'm gonna move on because I was just trying to figure out. I know some of you were trying to figure out how the hell and who the hell is this judge and why he didn't get on Henyard, and that's probably why. So another person who has been talking and coming out, talking to, they always been talking, but maybe not a lot of people broadcast about it. Burt Odelson. Okay, so I'm going to play 2 clips, 2 interviews of Burt Odelson. This was September the 26th, and then the new one that he has most recently with WGN News. So we're going to hear his perspective of what he think is going on. He even talks about the federal investigation, versus the state investigation, why things are not moving possibly. So I found that interesting. So I said, let me share with you guys, because not a lot of people really talk about Burt Odelson until we really have to, but they were mentioning him in the group in Dolton Politics. And what they were mentioning is that Burt Odelson got a problem possibly with Delgado. And they have been having problems for years. And this is something probably why, he's so adamant about making sure he take down Delgado, because what we talked about prior is that I think that Delgado was the mayor, or is, or was. He was controlling every step that this monster was taking. Everything. Soon as somebody said something, she right there, like, right to Delgado, like, from the beginning. If you watch all the clips, he was literally leading her from the beginning. She did not know what the hell she was doing. So let's listen to what Mr. Burt Odelson has to say about the temporary restraining order against Tiffany that was granted. So this was September 2026.
I'm sure we'll have a good afternoon. For all things happening in Dolton. Burt, thanks for hopping on here with me today. I appreciate it.
Always, public needs to know this information.
Well, yeah, so here's the thing, and I had to admit this to the listeners, is I've been following along to this saga like a lot.
I just want to put your comment up there before we listen, because we're going to listen for the first. Isn't it just possible that he saw the value in not locking her up with the federal pending charges? What would be the value? Hold her ass, hold her in contempt. It got nothing to do with the federal charges. Whatever his little judgment is, you got to stand there for 2 days, 3 days, so you can comply. And then she get out. It has nothing to do with the federal charges, but it may can show her that her ass could go to jail, that nobody's playing with her. I really don't think that it would affect it at all. It just show more that she's not compliant. And the federal would be like, federal, whatever, whenever they charge her ass, like, look, she ain't listened to the state either. She was held in contempt. So that's my opinion on that. If anybody else have anything to add, you can. I'll put it on the screen. I just wanted to put your comment up there. I love you guys interacting and giving your opinion, your your view is value. But like I said, that's my opinion. I don't think that it would affect that at all. They can't just hold her until the feds come and get her, because it's not even like she got a warrant. But yeah, I think that she should have got her ass locked up. She should have went back there, because it make it act right. Even if they was even going to put Steele in jail. Steele is an honorable lawyer. This was out here though. I got to talk about Steele. And he do his thing. Do you know he had to fight for his life so he wouldn't go to jail every weekend with his client? Shit, put her in jail. I'm sorry, I don't have no sense. Put her in jail. There's no more room for leeway with her. She is a child that has not been spanked. This is a monster. When the monster don't get tapped on the hand, when they don't get any retribution for nothing they do, don't get it. This is what you created. She like, yeah, they got my back. Judge, are we going to a P. Diddy party? Let me stop. Let me keep it going. Moving forward.
A lot of us, but there's been so many twists and turns, Burt, that I feel like I'm 3 or 4 news cycles behind. Can you kind of just rewind a little bit about the latest happening with the mayor?
Sure, it's easy. The trustees and the people of the village of Dolton had a major victory in court yesterday. The mayor tried to appoint a village administrator, a village attorney, and a police chief without giving their names to the board and allowing the board to say yay or nay, which is what the law tells us you have to do as a mayor. She just appoints him from her house or wherever the hell she appoints him. The applicants that she appointed, I don't want to talk about them personally, but let's just say it's not the top of the barrel. Each one of the potential appointees had tremendous problems, but the main problem is she didn't do it the right way.
It's the process.
Do it in the meeting. She didn't, so the process. So we filed in court. The 4 trustees we filed in court, asked the court to issue a temporary restraining order, restraining the mayor and restraining her attempted appointees from taking any office. Yesterday, after a 3-hour hearing, Judge Thaddeus Wilson issued the temporary restraining order, restored Keith Freeman as the village administrator, which she unlawfully removed, and took the police chief, village attorney, and village administrator out of the village of Dolton. So we don't have to contend with them.
I got to unpack this thing. Are these local laws that she was breaking, state laws, or are there federal jurisdictions? Both? Okay.
No, both. State law and local ordinances. Our ordinances.
So you hear that? It may have helped the federal case a little bit more. He's saying it's state law and federal law that this nincompoop broke. Adding more shit to the fire. See, she done gave the feds a little bit more too.
That we have in Dolton mirror state law. So we quoted both the state law and the local ordinance, which again mirrors the state law. And the judge was excellent in understanding where the village of Dolton is. And in his order, he talks about the plaintiffs, meaning my 4 trustees, and the residents of the village of Dolton, having established that they will suffer irreparable harm except for the issuance of the TRO.
So, everyone like me, Burt, has got to be screaming, how is she still in office? So,
we're going to listen to that. But y'all do know I gave the judge his credit last week. So don't make it seem like I didn't give that man his credit. I was happy on the ruling. You know, he was, when we read the file, basically he was saying that, yes, it's going to be damage done if these people still stay in position. Okay. But I did have to do a little mini deep dive into a little bit about him. And I'm going to see, can I pay attention to a few of his court hearings, watch it a few days to see how he conduct himself. And maybe I'll have a little bit more, to give you as far as insight. But y'all know I'm skeptical. It is what it is. Once you start moving funny, that's what I judge. You can be prestige, you could be this, you could be blah, blah, wah, wah. But when you move, that's what I look at. So I wanted to see how he moves. And that's why I brought up that information, just to give y'all a heads up. We're going to keep our eye on him. But I was glad what he did. I'm not biased. But what he did to that young lady, holding her in court in jail for 3 days, and now they have a lawsuit, that's not copacetic. And that says a lot about character, period. That says a lot about character. So let's just finish listening.
Maybe you've explained this before, but seriously, is it a local issue that there isn't the removal options available to residents of the city council? Is there any, she essentially, we'll have to see how this ends up going, but is violating local and state laws. What is the removal mechanism, or is there not one?
Move that ass.
The removal mechanism is an indictment and a finding of guilty for violation of crimes. The state, as far as I know, the state's attorney and the attorney general are doing nothing. The federal government is doing something, and there's been an active investigation going on for at least 8 or 9 months.
Should the
by
Cook
both
County
the FBI and the U.S. attorney?
Should the state's attorney and the attorney general be doing more?
We're having a change in state's attorney soon. I don't think.
But does Kwame Raoul have the authority as Attorney General of Illinois to charge her with official?
So you already heard him when he talked about the state attorney. Is that Kim Fox? He says we got a new one coming up. We'll keep hope alive for the next one. Let's keep listening. Just listen to what he said. He's like, yeah, we gonna have to wait on that.
misconduct? Is there some statute on the books that he could go and say, you have broken the law in your role as the mayor of this town? You're as a criminal charge.
Could he have? Yes, I think there's plenty here of misappropriation of funds for personal use, theft of funds. There's a myriad of laws that she has seemed to violate. I can't say she has violated. I'm not a judge. It seems to have violated. But I don't believe the state will do anything at this point because the federal government has been investigating, has an active investigation going on. So one agency doesn't want to cross over and hurt the investigation of the other.
Oh, that's hurting the people of Dolton. Like all this waiting for the...
I want an expert to explain that statement because that statement does go along a lot where they say they don't want to hurt the investigation. Work together. What's the problem? Put her in state jail, then she go to the feds. Which one? Both. Y'all work together. Somebody feed somebody something so this can move faster. I don't like the fact that the state is using that as an excuse. Well, the feds have an investigation, so we don't want to touch it and mess it up. The feds came in a couple of months ago. She's been doing this from the beginning, and the trustees have been reporting. They have been filing lawsuits. Nobody in the state. I don't like that. I don't like it not one bit. And that's when you say politics or politricks or both. Both.
For the gears of the courts to work themselves out. Meanwhile, everything else is happening. So there's no until an indictment comes, if it comes, there's no mechanism for the council to start proceedings or a recall vote. We just have to sit with this thing.
We have to sit with it, except for the things that the village board has done, and that is have their own meetings where they have a quorum, passing laws, approving bills. Last week, we had Judge Cohn issue an order saying if the mayor won't sign checks, the mayor pro tem can sign checks, which is a big victory for us. So now we can start paying bills because she only would pay the bills that she wanted to pay, even though the board approved the bill. So we have lawsuits from legitimate vendors who did work who not getting paid.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, just looking at her face make me mad because, like he said, we got lawsuits. And I know it just rolled off his tongue, but even this judge, even Mr. Wilson, Thaddeus, he said this ridiculous that he even said it, that they had to come back to make him almost hold her in contempt of court. But that's more money. And even though Mr. Odelson is not Burt Odelson, is allegedly have not received more than one check, allegedly, or that's what he said, from Dolton because of her, he's going to get a whole lot of back pay on top of over 40 lawsuits that Henyard has been part of, calls for Dolton. She don't need to go to jail. I mean, seriously, she don't need to be held in contempt. People should be talking to this judge. The residents, you should be writing letters to the judge's chambers to talk about your grievances, to make sure that he's more stern on her. This is some of the things you guys could do. Yep. What? Because you know how people be about to go to jail and they be like, you can write to the judge's chambers to see if they get a lesser sentence. You can do the same thing to make sure somebody get a worse sentence. I think the residents of Dolton need to follow up with this judge and make sure that he don't give her any more leeway. Do you hear what I'm hearing? I mean, 40 lawsuits, and then she has the nerve to sit at these meetings and say, I'm not being sued. We're being sued. I'm being sued in my capacity. Arrogant and disgusting. And I'm gonna have to say this because I'll be creeping. People be mad. I listen to everybody. I actually watch YouTuber's page because I like to hear what people have to say. And that's kind of like a little bit of support. But I know y'all really not big on her, but I'll be listening to Trina Downs' page sometimes. And this right here, I'm going to just tell you, she has a little bit of knowledge behind her. She's not totally crazy. She went over the referendum. She talked about the referendum of why it did not go through to get Tiffany Henyard actually, pulled off of being the mayor. That's one of the things that I was kind of thinking, like, what the hell? Why didn't that happen? How did it get Keith Price out, his old fat ass, and then get her out? The referendum, things like that. Also, you know, some of the lawsuits, the things that's going on, and some background information. So all I'm just telling you guys, please listen to every content creator you can. Don't choose a side, especially if you really care. You want to have critical thinking. I've learned a lot from a lot of different content creators because they see things from different sides. So I just wanted to throw that out there because there is some information that Ms. Trina Downs have been putting out that makes sense. Okay, I ain't saying she's gonna be mayor, but she is putting out some facts. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
It's just piling. I use a football term. It's piling on. There's been plenty of penalties, and now it's just piling on. But this was a major victory for the people of Dolton yesterday. This will help us quite a bit.
Yeah, and I know you're zoomed in here on Dolton, but Burt, I know you've worked with so many different municipalities and over many, many years. It makes me wonder, are other municipalities at risk of something similar happening? Maybe not to the scale that it's happening in Dolton, but are we not paying attention enough to our local politics? Or do we need to start putting mechanisms in place in this state to create situations where people can get these people out of office if it's this drastic?
And gross.
Yeah, the answer is the municipalities aren't paying enough attention. 2 or 3 days ago, the mayor of Fort Heights was found guilty in the state courts of embezzling over $100,000. The mayor of New York was indicted yesterday. The mayor of Riverdale has been indicted.
Yeah.
And, the problem is it takes too long because
the problem is it's a systematic corruption. That's what I see. And then if you have a whole state that's allegedly on Team Democratic, they not pushing or paying attention to their own friends. That's what happened here. But I'm talking about, it's gonna, it's gonna basically mess with the feds case. No, you're never going to investigate your own people correctly. Period. Point blank. Period. You're not. They're not. That's why they did it.
Because once you catch up to them, the money's gone. And we're not going to get it back. That's the problem. There has to be some other mechanism, a recall mechanism to take them out of office immediately.
Right, and I'm
fine.
Right, and I'm fine making the threshold high. I don't want every municipality every year after a mayor gets elected a 51% vote, but I feel like there needs to be either it's a state law or something put in place to create situations where these mechanisms at least are available. Burt, we're out of time.
All right, so that was a good suggestion, y'all. That's something that y'all can talk to about in Dolton. Talk to your trustees of recall measures, things that they can put in that's aligned, with the state laws, and talk to your state officials about getting a law in that will hurry up and move these mayors out. Well, public officials, not just mayors, the public officials that is corrupt. All right, so we got attorney Burt Odelson on Dolton update. So this was October 3rd, and him talking a little bit more about the win, about her, not being locked up. She should have been locked up, and not let her out. I'm sorry. Don't let her out. Locked up. She's causing chaos every day. Come on, man. I don't have patience. I don't have patience for this anymore. And then we're going to have to give the update about Andrew Holmes. We're running into that next. There's no excuse, people. Let's stop making excuses for our system moving slow, things like that. That's what we're going to talk about at the end. We're going to talk about what changed from 2022 to now. Okay? Shit like this is really messing with the American people's morale. Like, can we really get justice? What the f is going on around here? So let's listen to his update real quick.
But this one, I would say, takes the cake. He represents the Dolton trustees. I mean, wouldn't you say in your career, Burt, this is something maybe you haven't seen before?
Yeah, Lisa, I joke, only half joke. I've testified in federal court twice against 2 mayors who both went to jail. So I've seen a lot, and I've been through the city council for 50 years. I have never, ever seen anything like this that's going on in Dolton. It has gone on for 3 years and is continuously going on, where we have to go to court almost every day. to fight what's happening, to try to keep them stable, which is almost impossible to do, quite frankly. We were in court again today.
It centers around Dolton's mayor, Tiffany Henyard. Why were you in court today?
Today, because last week the court entered a temporary restraining order against her from making appointments illegally. She appointed a police chief, a village attorney, and a village administrator illegally without going to the board, which the law says you have to do. The judge ruled that you have to proceed according to law, that the appointees were not good. She appealed it to the appellate court, and yesterday the appellate court denied her appeal. So today we were on with the Judge Wilson, because we filed a petition to have her held in contempt of court for still locking out the village administrator. The judge did not grant the contempt against her, but he warned her, and he warned all parties, you better listen to my order or you're going to be held in contempt. He continued the temporary restraining order in effect, so she can't make illegal appointments, and continue the case to November 7th.
Was she in court today when you were in court?
Yeah, on Zoom. I saw her on Zoom. Yes.
She doesn't like you very much, does she,
November
Burt?
7th. She what?
She doesn't like you very much, does she?
Well, it's on the agenda every 2 weeks to fire me, so I would say no. She doesn't like me. She doesn't have to. I don't care if she likes me or not. Just gets to follow the law. That's all.
That's how we feel. I'm with you, Mr. Burt. I don't care who likes me or not. Just be honest. Follow the law. Follow the law.
Time we talk to you, people in Dolton and people in Thornton Township and people around Chicagoland say, how long is this going to go on? She is in office until April, but she's got something written in that doesn't make the job appealing to anyone else.
It's April.
No, it's very difficult. And the next person who will be mayor there is going to have a lot to dig out from because of the massive amount of debt that she has caused the village. We're over $5 million in the hole, and we were $5 million above the black line before she took office. So we've had almost an $11 million swing in 3 years. It's depressing, really.
And
I'll tell you know.
So basically, he's kind of verifying that Dolton, before she became mayor, had a $5 million surplus, allegedly. And now they lost them 11 million. That's why he's saying they're 5 million in the hole. What? Oh, it's 6 million. Let me correct that, because he said it's 11 million, like basically defect. How the hell did she spend that much money? Did you hear what he said? So I can't verify was Dolton at a $5 million or $6 million surplus before she came in. But baby, I ain't never seen nobody spend like that. And you telling me that Dolton is not built up and beautified yet? Oh, hell no.
Lisa, on the Zoom call, you usually have 10 or 15, lawyers or people. There were 150 people on the Zoom call today to watch from Dolton.
Oh my gosh. And are these just constituents?
Good job. You know what? By you showing up there on that Zoom call, y'all did put some pressure on that judge. Even though he tried it. He gonna talk about basically he recommended all parties to do what he said and comply with it. That's the same shit that this new judge on YSL is doing. When the prosecutor do something fucked up, instead of her just reprimanding just the prosecutor, well, she's been doing it a little bit. She tried to do it on both sides to be politically correct. It's not being politically correct when there's one person doing the shit. So Burt Odelson, I'm glad you're giving the judge a little bit of credit. But baby, y'all need to show up more. 150 is great. Show up more, put more pressure, write some letters to the judge's chamber, tell them that you will be there November the 7th. If I'm available, Grace Levi will be there November the 7th. Let me see if I write to the judge's chamber and ask them, can we stream it? Why not? It is what it is. Let's see how many people be streaming it. I'm gonna do what I do, like a legal nurse consultant. I'm like, Judge, Secretary, Judge Secretary, excuse me, can we join the live? Okay, so look out for that. Let's see whatever day that is that I'll be available for you guys. Okay.
Yes. People that okay.
Stay.
Yes, just from it's amazing.
She can't be fired. She's not being removed before April, but her hands have been somewhat tied to stop these crazy expenditures, right?
Yes. We the board has taken a number of different means to stop her from having access to the funds. The credit cards have been taken away, and bills are now being paid because a court a week ago, a different court, ordered that entered a preliminary injunction against her, saying if she won't sign the checks, then the mayor pro tem, Trustee House, can sign the checks. So we haven't taken power away. We just have gotten the authority to do the regular business of the village, whether she does it or not.
Take the power away completely. I'm just saying. Please hit the like button. Please hit the like button. Welcome to Grace Levi's Uncensored Enlightenment Talk. We're here. You can speak your piece even if we don't agree. Say what you want to say as long as it's respectful. Let's respect each other and treat everybody as humans and not be cyborgs and shit. Don't have no emotion, no connection to nobody. That's what we're going to talk about after we talk about Andrew Holmes. Okay, let's just finish off this so we can move on to Andrew Holmes. We're going to talk about it tonight.
And are all the trustees now standing firmly against her, or does she still have a few on her side?
Four have always stood against her. A fifth has now participated with the other four.
Good job.
So I would say there are 5 out of the 6.
You know who that he talking about? He talking about Stan. I'm just riding the bike around, Mr. Stan. Thank God, his cognitive dissonance kind of just went away. Something just clicked in that slow brain, like jail. Did somebody say jail? I'm here. Special board meeting. Thank you, Stan. I appreciate you sliding over to the right side. I was waiting for Stan, my man. Y'all know I be talking about Stan. I felt bad for him. He ain't gonna do jail good. He ain't gonna do jail good.
Fixed will never come over. So it's pretty strong.
The federal investigation continues.
Yes, it does. That is for sure. Yes, and it's the weekly. It's the weekly Dolton report.
Yes.
You need a regular spot for me on your program, the weekly Dolton report.
Pretty much. Let's just make it every Monday at 2:17 because that's it. John Williams laughs. He's like, you ought to give Burt his own show because this is like a made-for-TV movie, Burt.
Listen closely, y'all. Somebody's about to try to monetize off of Dolton. Y'all talk about us? Listen to this.
Well, there's a major network who's been following this, and the reporter who's been following it told me that they are close to completion to have a series. It's you would call it a reality series, but it's going to be a Dolton series. It's going to be on TV.
Oh my.
And I'm not saying that it is ridiculous. I know we stream and we talk about Dolton. You know how I am. I'm educating. Hopefully, me as the online resident that I'm playing a part to help this. But damn, they about to make this like some type of reality show series on Dolton. She put a stain not only on her career, but she tried to put a stain on Dolton. This is going to be great, though. I'm going to say this because if that happened, I know by the grace of God, I'm going to have to put it down there on a Sabbath for you, this Hebrew sister, that Dolton is going to come up. Dolton is going to come up as long as the people wake up, do for self. Don't worry about these damn services that allegedly she's trying to give. Vote her ass out. Whoever's coming in, ask those critical questions to make sure that they have the right agenda in mind, that is not going to be a political agenda for the Democrats. Because obviously y'all going to vote blue. I don't know, but this is what I'm just telling you. I'm keeping it real, okay? I do see something good coming from this in the future, and I pray 5 years from now that Dolton actually recover from this. I said 5 years. I love this shit. The way she did it would be like 10 of them years. Anyway, so we're going to move forward now. I want to send shout out to everyone who's here. Please hit the like button. I appreciate you guys for being with us today. Again, if you're out there up in Illinois, do you know what that means? All right, whatever. Independent. All right. So if y'all out there in Illinois, go check this out. Dolton Day of Celebration for Alexis Wilson. This is today. J&J Booking Event Space. Actually, it's in Indiana. I do apologize. I thought it was in Illinois. It's in Indiana. So hopefully a few people stream it, and I'll be able to share it with you guys. But I did want to put that on the screen that's happening today and next week on the 10th. Coming up, the George Floyd and Alexis Wilson Police Accountability and Reform meeting. So it's going to be a town hall meeting on October 10th. You're going to see it's going to be in Chicago Heights, Illinois. That's definitely going to be out there, okay, where they're going to be highlighting the numerous unjustified police unalivings, okay? And that includes my baby girl, Alexis Wilson. And you see the other individuals up here like George Floyd. I don't know all these individuals by name, but it is ridiculous and horrendous. So this is not just a one person thing. This is a real